I love to watch the cop shows on TV, the detectives. But one of the questions during the interrogation always gets to me. What were you doing on the night of November the 4th, 2021? I got to tell you, if I'm ever interrogated, I'm in trouble because I'm going to answer every question wrong, especially that one. What were you doing on November the 4th, 2021? I don't have any idea. Well, were you at home? Probably. I got up for work, went to work that day, probably went to the gym. Then I went home, we ate dinner, binged watched something with my wife until she went to sleep, and then I went and binged watched something by myself. The end. I guess. How am I supposed to know? It was a long time ago. I don't really remember what I did yesterday, do we really remember what we did from day to day to day to day? I don't. But if you think about it, it's kind of sad. Because we are given, on average in the United States, 79 years. That's the average lifespan in this country, 79 years, give or take. And so that's 28,385 days. No, 835 days. 28,835 days. That seems like a lot, doesn't it? Until I realized half of mine are already gone. That number seems a lot less now, And so as we get closer and closer to that average, it's like, oh my gosh, well, 28,000 isn't that much. And so these 365 days a year, these 24 hours a day and 7 days a week that we're given, why do we allow them to just go away? Are they like just sands in an hourglass that just fall away like nothing? Maybe we should know what happened on November the 4th, 2021. Maybe I should pay a little more attention to what happened yesterday. Or maybe, just maybe, these days ought to actually mean something in my life. Maybe I ought to do something with my life where they do mean something, where every day is significant. But the truth is, most of my days are just like sand, running out little by little until eventually the last grain will hit the bottom. Today is Ash Wednesday. And just a few moments ago, you came forward and ashes were placed on your head and you heard the words, "Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return." And what this means is one day you're going to die. That's what Ash Wednesday is. It is the day where we remember our mortality. The fact that you and I are given a certain amount of days, a certain amount of weeks, a certain amount of hours. And one day, the last grain of sand will hit the bottom. We will take our last breath. Maybe you'll get 28,835 days. Maybe you won't. Maybe you've already gotten 28,835 days. Maybe you'll get a lot more. But the truth is, our life is fleeting. Every moment we live is one step closer to the grave. That's your good news for Ash Wednesday. But there is good news in that. Because the good news in that is you have life now. See, Ash Wednesday may be about death, but I think ultimately it's about life. And it reminds us that life matters. That while we have air in our lungs, what we do is important. Every day matters. Every hour matters. Every minute matters. Because each and every one of us is given a certain purpose in this world, a certain reason for being. You were placed here because God put you here for a purpose, for a reason. And the truth is, throughout that lifetime that we're given, we ought to be taking every moment that we can to make sure that we fulfill that purpose, to make sure that our life does matter. You see, in our letter from St. Paul to the church in Corinth, he says, now is the acceptable time. See, now is the day of salvation. It's time to stop putting things off. It's time to stop saying, well, we'll take care of that tomorrow. It's time to stop saying, one of these days I'd like to do this. No, now is the acceptable time. Now is the day of salvation. You have air in your lungs. You have life. Your sand is still running out. And as long as it is, fulfill your purpose. Do what you were created and called to do. Be who you are created and called to be. You're here for a reason. Fulfill that purpose. Now is the acceptable time. Now is the day of salvation. Your life matters. Your life is important. You're here for a reason. But see, the problem is that a lot of folks struggle with the next question. Why? Why am I here? What is that reason? What is that purpose, right? I mean, it's one thing to say you have purpose, but if you don't know what it is, how do you fulfill it? Over the next 40 days, that's what we're going to be focusing on. And I want to encourage you to take that journey with us. Our Lenten services this year will be the word for Wednesday slightly modified. And so I invite you to tune into those, because what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at a phrase that you often hear me say. You are who you are, where you are, when you are, what you are, how you are, for a reason. And so every week we're going to be looking at one of those. When you are, what you are, where you are, how you are, who you are, thank you, who you are, for a reason. And so as we look at those, hopefully we can discern what our purpose is individually and collectively, so that we can look at those moments of our lives and make our life matter. Because your life does matter. God made you to be special. Yes, one day our sand will run out. But until that time, now is the acceptable time. Now is the day of salvation. Amen.